How to Remain a Good Woman in a Moral Pandemic, a Practical Manual by Farhad Purgodafshan, PhD Psychology. Many good women have been accused of or treated like a bad woman simply because they were unaware of certain issues, or they neglected what they already knew. Knowledge is power. They asked the wise man, "When is the best time to be good?" He answered, "A day before we die." They said, "But we don't know when we die." He answered, "Then the best time to be good is now." It has never been so challenging to be a good woman than nowadays, because we are bombarded by carefully designed psychological and social engineering themes through the media and our educational system to change our intellectual and moral values. It's like being in a river carried by a strong current that takes us wherever it wants. The solution is not to swim against the current. It is rather to come up to the shore and walk at your own pace and in the direction that you want. Do not be surprised if most of what you were taught by the media and society are the opposite of what you need in order to live as a good woman and with dignity. No disaster comes to us except through our own ignorance and evil acts. To live as a good woman, you need to understand and pay attention to how you communicate with others. We communicate by our appearance, words, and behavior. We are sending signals to those around us all the time by how we appear, how and what we say or write, how we behave. We are conditioned to communicate in a specific way by those behind social engineering. The dominant culture and the media teach a woman has to be independent, liberated. What they actually mean is she must be independent from her father, her brother, and her husband, who protect her, but she should confide and depend on every other man out there for advice and favor, men who often have no good intentions towards her. A lone sheep is an easy prey for the wolves. There is nothing independent in this universe. Everything is affected and depends on everything else. Then why we must be independent from our immediate family? Is it not that a family is a number of people who depend on each other? They teach you're not the slave of your parents or your husband. You're free. This is what you should say as soon as they ask you to do this or don't do that evil act. But it's okay for you to be the slave to your boss, the tax department, the bank, your TV screen, or social media. This is psychological manipulation, and it is achieved by inflating our egos by all the talk about our individuality and uniqueness and freedom, which in reality is marginal. The good men and women are the only free people. They are free from disasters that evil actions bring. This brainwash has been done by the movie and TV industry and other forms of media. Knowledge is power. This video is designed to empower you as a good woman and save you from irreversible mistakes. The handsome prophet Joseph preferred to go to prison than commit adultery, and as a reward, he was made the high minister of Egypt. In dream interpretation, prison means marriage. It is better to be in the prison of marriage than to be in the fire of adultery. Movies and the media are not the problem. It is the immorality they propagate that is the problem. Theater has long history, but its purpose has changed from promoting justice and nobility of character to promoting corruption and vulgarity. A corrupt society is much easier to control and manipulate by the so-called elite. Movies displaying immorality such as crimes, violence against women, pornographic scenes, homosexuality, and others are designed to change our moral values negatively. Most people are like sponge. I remember when people left the first Bruce Lee movie, about half of young men started kicking in the air, etc. Once people see the same immoral acts repeatedly in the movies by the actors and actresses they are taking as their role models, they naturally tend to accept these immoral behaviors as acceptable and normal. There is a moral pandemic on earth worse than COVID-19. The solution is really simple. Change the channels, shut it off, stop paying for production of immorality. The industry produces what makes money. So people are equally to blame for this issue. Since 1950s, there have been 100 plus feminist movies produced that they try to change our moral values. For example, a very successful musical comedy, Mamma Mia, is about a woman who has a daughter but does not know from who. Through beautiful scenery, romantic and sentimental twist, the movie in a hidden way puts in the people's minds that what she did is okay. This is how our moral values are being changed. They give us poison that is sugar-coated. Another example, we are watching a movie in the cinema. At some point, the married woman is in a bar and a rich athlete approaches her and frankly tells her that he wants to sleep with her. She responds, "I am married," and the man insists. She leaves. When she comes home, she asks her husband to sleep with her, but the husband refuses as he's angry with her. Shockingly, immediately we hear some woman behind us say, "Now she's going to go and sleep with the other man." For some people, this is apparently the acceptable solution every time there is a marital problem, thanks to the rampant immorality in the movies. Remember, people communicate by their appearance, words, and behavior. Your appearances have two dimensions. One, your dress and makeup. Two, your body language. A good appearance is dignified and beautiful. Your appearance is the first impression you give others, and the first impression forms people's opinion about you. Once someone sees you in an indecent appearance, that is who they remember you to be ever after. And worse, now everyone is walking with a smartphone in hand and they are taking photos anytime they have a chance. The public pictures on the internet are the proof. These pictures will stay on the internet for as long as internet exists. All the pictures have been gathered from the internet and we have chosen the least offensive ones and tried to censor them as appropriate. Pictures in flirting sections seem to be staged by actors for educational purposes. What exists in people's private collections we refuse to even think about. The only way to protect yourself is to have two completely different sides to your life, private and public. And no, this is not hypocrisy, as you have the right to be as you wish in your privacy. A hypocrite is one who always tries to lead people to moral corruption and adultery. And your home and garden is not private if you're not careful. We will see why. So arrange your wardrobe and your appearance for public and private differently. Be as sexy as you want for your husband only, in private, and see its marvelous effects. From whom did you learn good manners? From the vile and vulgar, Sadi, the Persian poet. We offer good and bad examples, since if you avoid the bad acts, you will not risk being perceived wrongly. Now let us see this moral pandemic in action. We start with the appearance. A picture says 1,000 words. Dignified and beautiful, Iran. Dignified and beautiful, Iran. Dignified and beautiful, Morocco. Dignified and beautiful, Morocco. Dignified and beautiful, North Africa. Dignified and beautiful, Africa. Dignified and beautiful, Malaysia. Dignified and beautiful, Pakistan, India. Dignified and beautiful, Pakistan, India. Dignified and beautiful, Romania, on the left. Balkans, on the right. Same. Dignified and beautiful, Armenia. What the next photos show, most women know to avoid, but the media and the ignorant people are making these wrong manners look normal and acceptable. Good women, be careful. What if she was warned before that her shirt does not cover her breast if she bends? Good women, be careful. Good women, be careful. What if she was warned about this even when she was buying it? Good women, be careful how you dress. There are a lot of sick people out there. Good women, be careful how you dress. There are a lot of sick people out there. That includes women who dress like this. shameful, vulgar, and unacceptable. Good women, be careful. There are many sick people out there. The ones on the left and middle are inappropriate in the public. Good women, be careful. Avoid bending over in the public. Good women, be careful. Remember, you're not inside your home. Even there, you're not safe. Remember, you're not inside your home. The pictures show a position you must avoid even if you're wearing pants or leggings, unless you're at home with the immediate family only. We are not safe from the peeping toms even in our home or garden if we are careless. These photos are taken by neighbors and put on the internet. More of the same. The moral pandemic of our times. The makeup. Every woman might need a little makeup for several reasons. But if you are putting on excessive makeup in the presence of other than your immediate family, that is either the sign of a lack of confidence or corruption. We will explain this next. For example, on who are these others, see our book Return to the Essentials. Moderate or excessive. If for her husband, she is the one on the right, but for everyone else, she is like the photo on the left, she has a serious problem and cannot say it's for me, it makes me feel good. What makes her feel good? To attract other men? Remember, excessive makeup shows a problematic mentality. According to most psychologists, married women who try to be sexy for other men have either a deep sense of insecurity, trying to prove that they are attractive to other men as a warning to their husbands to pay more attention to them, or they're simply corrupt and in fact are looking for other men on the side. In either case, this is the weakness in these women, and it is quickly picked up by bad men. Both lack of confidence or corruption could lead to cheating, proper term for which is adultery. Your dress was revealing. I can go out naked if I want. If the man still continues to live with this kind of woman, it is either he loves her and is patient, hoping she would never act on what she said and will become good, or he has no dignity. One of the most risky sexual behaviors is flirting. Most psychologists and family counselors think flirting is cheating. Our behavior is mostly adopted and it could be corrected. No one could tell, this is my personality. No personality type includes perversion. Perversion and corruption are deviations. The flirtatious behavior is a common theme of movies and TV shows. Those who say there is nothing wrong with flirting have not been the victim of cheating. Let us first see what are the signs and examples of flirting. The signs of flirting comprise body language, facial expressions, gazing, seductive look in the eyes, sexy smile, laughter and joking, staying close to or touching, asking private questions, discussing private matters with other men, any prolonged conversation, asking for help and favors from other than your spouse. Body language, facial expression, gazing. How many flirting signs do you see? Tilted head, gazing, sexy smile, staying close. How many signs do you see? Gazing, sexy smile, staying close, tilted head. Remember, these pictures are educational. How many flirting signs do you see? Close proximity, gazing, sexy smile, hands almost touching. How many flirting signs do you see? Close proximity, laughter and tilting of the head, joking around. A sexy smile is a smile that is combined with direct or sideways eye contact and other facial or body expressions. You feel that she's totally comfortable with you. There are no boundaries in her look, no reservations, no shame. There's a subtle projection of sexual energy. A good woman avoids sexy smile and withdraws her sexual energy in presence of other men. More examples of sexy smile: should not wink or open her mouth like this to another man, even if his jokes are so funny it is like killing her. So it's not that we cannot smile, but to whom we are smiling and with what combination of other factors. Flirting at work is a problem that human resources have been dealing with. Your spouse has every right to know what is happening between you and your boss and co-workers. The man thinks that she flirted with me. I need to focus on my promotion. The woman is thinking, maybe I can get him to notice my work record if I bat my eyes a little more. Anyone who shows you an obscene or pornographic image or video at work or any other place is a pervert. He is sexually flirting with you. Maybe because you were friendly with him. Keep your distance from him, physically and emotionally. Keep your physical distance from other men. An arm's length is your personal space. On a dinner table, sit beside your husband or children. The other men could sit in front of your husband and children. Asking questions about your personal life and home is violation of your privacy, and to discuss it with other men is flirting. We will see why. Any plans for this weekend? Of course, me and my husband always make plans together. The woman is smart. By her answer, she shuts the door on his invasion. In any situation like this, your best answer includes me and my husband. This is a typical response by those who flirt. Are you flirting with men? No, but I can talk to men as I wish. It is not just the men who start the flirting. Many times the woman gives him the occasion. The man says, I'm an electrician, and you ask this guy to fix our lights? The woman answers, so what? Be careful, next time I may ask him something else. There are several mistakes when a woman does that. We see this later. How could he have confidence in her again? When a married woman asks for a favor or advice from another man, it is interpreted by that man as, she thinks I'm more intelligent and more capable than her husband. And a bad man starts to think, let's see in what other areas I'm more intelligent and capable of her husband. The research shows that men often overestimate a woman's interest in them and confuse friendly behavior with sexual desire. She's friendly with me because she wants me. Even if a man initiates the offer, the woman should respond, I am sure my husband could take care of it. By saying this, you give no chance for any misunderstanding. Another devious brainwash is that there is privacy rights between a husband and wife. This is the sure way to either break marriages by creating a lack of confidence, as there is no confidence when there is no transparency, or worse, ensure ample opportunities for cheating. The only way to ensure a healthy marriage is transparency. No lies, no secrets. No, your phone, email, and chats or other contact methods are not your private matters and must be accessible by your spouse at all times. The good women need to know what might make them look like a cheater and avoid that. Research shows that women who cheat like to keep their personal life secret from their husbands. A locked cell phone that you could not access is the alarming sign of a cheating wife. They want to keep their calls, messages, and emails secret. And when you ask them, who was that you were talking to or messaging? they try to change the subject or say it with anger. You have no confidence in me. You have no confidence in me is a psychological manipulation mastered by corrupt women to shift the blame to their husbands while they are the ones guilty of hiding things. The man says, let me see, who is it? You have no confidence in me? The man answers, will you have confidence in someone who is not transparent with you? Research shows that cheaters always try to rationalize their behavior, justify it, and they blame their infidelity on their partner. You made me lie. You made me cheat. The fact is, they do all that by their own will. It is their way of feeling powerful. They are expert liars and even plan ahead and set the stage for future lies they want to say. In a study, 89% of women who had cheated on their husbands frequented bars and preferred to flirt with the restaurant waiters or bartenders. Good women never flirt. Another trait of a cheater is that they seldom answer your phone calls right away. Or they answer and tell you that I call you back, but they don't call back or call after a long time. And they are not at work. Even at work, you could shortly answer, it is your husband. She regularly gives her phone number to any man she meets or asks for his phone number. This is to keep the options open for future. This is the rule of your personal space, which is very important to prevent misunderstandings. 45 centimeters close to you is your intimate zone. Only the intimate, your husband, your brother, your father, your son can stand that close to you. Friend zone is between 45 centimeter to 1.2. Better to be 1.2. This is a friend. That's the kind of distance you must have with a friend. Social zone is more than 1.2 meters. And for the audience, of course, is 3.6. The cheaters are very comfortable with men, like to stand close to them, walk into a tight space with them, hand them things. In a party, they engage in long conversations, often joking with men, while there are women around them to chat with. Most cheaters confess that they hate men. They cheat to hurt men, but they are hurting themselves. They just do not have the intelligence to realize that until it is too late. The cheaters do not like rules or authority. They feel suffocated, but they accept rules or an authority if it materially benefits them. Remember the story of Prophet Joseph. Marriage is a prison and fortress at the same time that protects you from committing evil and from the evil people out there. Cheaters do not seek a spiritual life and do not accept any spiritual authority that could monitor their behavior. And never do a charity act that may put you in a situation to cheat. The old woman asks, help me find my daughter a husband on the match site. The woman answers, but I'm married. That is not good for me. You meet the man first, and if he is okay, tell him it is for my daughter. Well, she met a man, and she ended up sleeping with him, bringing disaster on herself and the man. Anytime you meet with another man without the knowledge of your husband, you are putting yourself in that same situation. In summary, to remain good, have a private life and guard it well. No privacy between spouses. Be transparent. Dress properly to guard your dignity. Do not flirt. Flirting is cheating. Do not befriend the opposite sex. Do not fall for the sub-stories of men. They play with your compassionate side. Seek a spiritual life. Everyone might have been negligent or wrong in the past. There is no better time to learn how not to repeat those mistakes than now. Remember, the best time to be good is one day before we die. If you seek a spiritual life, read our book, Return to the Essentials.